Hey guys, my name's Denise Feather, and I had a near-death experience about 24 years ago with the birth of my son. So I am here to explain things that I didn't feel comfortable explaining back then, because I mean, think about it, 24 years ago, the world was not very friendly with those kind of things. They thought you were crazy. So what I want to talk about today is most people think that they're failing when they're not failing. They're just following programming that they didn't even choose. This video explains the invisible patterns, the energy that's been running your life unconscious to you, where you have not known, and how to finally break that habit and break that loop. So the big idea here is you're not choosing, you're reacting. So what do I mean? So you think that you are consciously choosing when something happens in your life. You're like, I am consciously choosing if I want to take path A or take path B. But what if I told you, you really aren't choosing that? It is really a familiar energy that you are kind of vibrating to. So what do I mean by this? Okay, so your childhood, you were literally programmed and conditioned. Okay, now your parents didn't say like, psh, like with a wand, like you're gonna be programmed this way or you're gonna have this type of mindset. That's not what happened. At age 0 to 7, which you might have already heard already, we do not have the conscious mind. We don't have the higher mind. We're literally a walking unconscious mind, which just means we're like a little sponge soaking up, looking around like this is how the world works. And we're so excited about it. Everything is new, everything is magical. But the downside to that, because you don't have that analytical factor or that rationalizing mind, is that everything that you see is truth. Okay, so you guys have probably heard the term limiting beliefs. That's where this is downloaded. Those beliefs actually limit you later in life because it's not truly who you are. It's not really your belief system. You were born on this earth with a certain belief system, but as you grow, especially in age 0 to 7, when you don't have that conscious mind, your belief system that you came to this earth with when you were born is overridden by what you see happening in the world. Okay, that is what is like pushes out the authentic you, and then the conditioned you comes in. It's like, take that person out and this person comes in. So it's not who you truly are. Okay, so keep that in mind. So now that we explain what happens in childhood, and it's not your fault, it's just the programming, let's talk about the relatable patterns that can happen. So how do you know when this kind of programming is showing up? All right, so if you keep quitting diets, or say you say, okay, I'm gonna start Monday, then Monday comes and you're great for Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday come and you're like, all right, ladies, let's go out for a wine night and pizza and chocolate cake. Screw this, okay? That's a problem. That's a pattern, okay? Or if you attract the same kind of unhealthy relationships, and I think that we've done that. Some of us can say we've done it over and over again. I know I've done it the last 10 years. I got a divorce and I dated several different guys, and they were like totally different people. I mean, like, all right, so like I was married to a dentist, then I dated a fireman, and then a cable guy. So totally different types of personalities and people. But when I really looked at it, now that I understand this, it was the same person, same energy, just a different face. That's it, okay? So I'm gonna explain more, so don't worry about it. I'm gonna explain more about that energy, okay? Or if you start something new and exciting, and then you just fizzle out, but it's something you really wanna do, and you're like, why am I giving up? Why am I not doing this? Why do I not feel motivated? It's the energy behind this, okay? So how does this happen? Your brain filters, okay? They say, ooh, this is very risky, okay? And it keeps you stuck. So what do I mean by risky? So our brain is programmed. It's just how we are programmed to survive. It's how we're wired as humans to not take risk. It kind of goes back to the caveman days. Like, a caveman, like, they stayed with the tribe, because if you got like expelled from the tribe, you were more likely to be killed, because wild animals or whatever, it's easier to catch one person than it is if you're running with a whole big tribe, okay? So that's just how it happens from the caveman days, all right? So that's why, going back to the relationship, that's why leaving a relationship or leaving a job or leaving anything that is not fulfilling to you is hard. It's that risk and reward. So it's this decision to act without knowing the outcome that's hard. We are so driven by the known. We do not like unpredictability. And why do we not like unpredictability? Because it takes more energy. So we like everything to be on autopilot. And why is that? Okay? Because energy is what sustains our life. So we are here really to live our life, to keep our body safe through using the least amount of energy possible. Okay? So think about it. Your brain uses a ton of energy. Like, I think it's like 20% of the energy in your body. So that's a lot of energy. So if you can go on autopilot and save all of that energy, your body is wired to do that. But the hang up with that is you are prone to go towards the predictable. So think about it. If you want to start a new relationship or start a new job, it's scary, right? And why is it scary? Because you don't know, is this job going to work out? Geez, if I break up with the guy I'm with now, who's kind of okay, I mean, he's good enough, we have fun. But if I break up with him, am I going to find someone better, or am I going to find something worse? The root cause of that is not knowing what the end is going to be. So we get scared, and most of the time, our brain does not take the chance. Why? Because it's going to save the energy, and it's going to stay in the autopilot of the predictable. So think about the friends that you've seen. And this is the easiest thing that I can relate to, and probably most people, is you have that friend. We all have that friend that dates that person, and you can see it's toxic. She's never happy, or he's never happy. They always tell like horror stories about what happens in life with them. And you're like, okay, like, you're telling me all this stuff, so why are you staying with them? Oh, but they're fun, and they always bring up something good. It's because they don't have the conviction or the feeling like they're going to have something better on the other side. So when you don't know that something's going to be better on the other side, a lot of time you stay stuck. So that stuck feeling that you're feeling, it's not really being stuck. It's being programmed to stay familiar with the energy. Remember that we talked about earlier when you're a childhood? There's those certain energies that you're programmed to, and you were downloaded to believe that this is how the world works. Like, a lot of your authentic energy was pushed away, and you downloaded the energy, kind of like the problems that your parents had. Like, if they were always fighting or there wasn't money, that energy never leaves your body. So when something happens in life that kind of triggers that same emotion, that energy, you think in the moment you're really angry or upset with what's happening in the moment, but it's really not. It's an echo from the past. Your body, your cells and everything have that energy that was scared, you were scared or angry or something that you suffered, and your body is triggered. That emotion is coming back up. So you're feeling that emotion of the past. That is what is keeping you stuck. Okay? And that is scientifically proven, guys. It is scientifically proven that we will choose the familiar rather than going to the other side with the unpredictable future. So our brain just goes on autopilot. That's why we feel like we live one day after the other and nothing ever changes, because we don't step into that conscious mind where we say, okay, I'm going to stop choosing from the familiar, and I'm going to choose something that can actually help me change my entire life. That's why people feel stuck, overwhelmed, and they don't feel healthy or happy in their own skin. It's because they stick with the familiar. So what can we do about this? So I created a 3-part framework, and it's called Stop, Wake Up, and Create. And I know you're like, okay, what does that mean, Denise? Okay, so just bear with me for a couple more seconds here. Stop. So when you feel triggered or fall into old habits, Like, don't react. Like, all right, for me, my thing was like even creating these videos. Like, actually, this is kind of one of my first couple of videos, and it's scary. It's really freaking scary, okay? Because people are kind of mean, you know, like they say mean stuff. But anyways, so for me, creating this video is scary. So I sometimes would be like, oh, I just gotta have a little bowl of ice cream, okay? Cherry Garcia. So I would say, okay, Jenny, stop. You do not want the ice cream, okay? Wake up to the fact, what is really going on here? So stop, don't go to the ice cream, hold space there for a second. And then I say, what is really going on? Wake up. So I realized that I don't want to make the video because it's scary. But my autopilot mind is like, go eat the ice cream because that's a lot of sugar and that's a dopamine rush and you get that happy feeling. But then a couple minutes later, I feel like, oh, I really don't want that ice cream. I wasn't even hungry, you know? So then I got to stop, wake up, create. What do I really want to create? I don't want to create that like regret of eating that ice cream. I want to create a freaking video because I know that all of the stuff that I've learned has really transformed my life. I mean, it's transformed my relationships, my finances, which is like huge, and I'm creating a new business. So all these good things are happening, but like I said, there was that line there. This side is the predictable. I could go back, I could eat the ice cream, I could go back and do dental hygiene, what I was doing before, or real estate, or I can stop. So stop, wake up, and I could create this video and get better at it because I know my first videos are gonna suck because I'm nervous because it's all new. Just like a new boyfriend, a new job, or anything that we do is the unknown new we don't like to do. Okay, you know what I mean? So what is the energetic piece of this? So if you really want to just take one piece of this video down, you are a magnet. Okay, you are a magnet. And what do I mean by that? Everything is energy, including you. Your beliefs, emotions, patterns, they all vibrate. It's literally universal law. It's the law of attraction. So we all can attract things into our life, but when we can't keep it, like when we sabotage ourselves, it's because the law of vibration, we are not vibrating at that level. And that is because we're stuck in those old patterns, which is lower levels of emotions of like shame, anger, scarcity, regret, anything on the lower emotional scale. That's what's stuck in our body. And that's that familiar emotion that I talked about earlier about the echo from the past. That's what draws us to make choices, not of what we want. It's what feels safe in the body, but it's not really safe because it still creates suffering. Okay. So what does all this mean? You don't attract what you want, you attract who you are deep down beneath that surface. That's all those emotions that were shoved down when you were little. Okay, so if something clicked in this video for you, please subscribe, like, and share with a friend who needs to hear this because you're not crazy. You're just waking up. That's what this feeling is. You're not broken. You're just programmed, but now that you have the power, you can rewrite the story that you want. Bye, guys.